17,000 authorized Boulevard jewelers from coast to coast to bring you
Sam Levenson in that wonderful fun and answer game, 2 for the Money. And here's the star of our show, America's favorite family humorist, Sam Levenson.
Good evening. It's nice to see you all here. Welcome to those of you who are at home. This is 2 for the Money. We're going to have some contestants and games and fun. I have 2 stories that came in through the mail. One from Mr. Keller Purcell, Bloomsburg, PA. This is a story about a little kid who came home from school with a star. You old-timers remember when you used to get a star? Remember, on a piece of paper to show your mama? Huh? This kid was a big surprise to the family because he didn't get stars. He walked in and said, I got a star. The whole family turned to him and says, what for? He says, the teacher asked, how many legs does a dog have? And I said 3, and I got a star. The whole family says, ridiculous. A dog has 4. He says, yeah. He says, well, then I must have had the nearest answer. Got one more for you. This is from Mr. Thomas Gregg in Lima, Ohio, or maybe they call it Lima, Ohio. This also, the old-timers remember that in every school, remember, they had a disciplinarian. Remember, you old-timers? If you did anything bad, they sent you to the office of this woman, remember? The executioner of the school, remember? Huh? God help you if you ever got sent to her. This kid walks in and she looks at him. She says, you, not you, our best student. Says, I'm going to make an example of you. You will mislead the others. Says, I'm going to call for your mother and your father. And she remember by the ear, this will never happen again. Says, I'm going to make a case of this. He turns to the kid and says, what have you to say for yourself now? He says, Miss Wilson wants to borrow your scissors. We're almost ready now to play 2 for the Money, but here's a word from Boulevard.
Sam, our first 2 contestants are Major Hosea Dixon and his granddaughter, Miss Ann Maddox, and they're from Knoll, Missouri. And Sam, this past June, both grandfather and granddaughter graduated from the same high school together.
Well, isn't that a nice introduction? Major Hosea Dixon and Ann Maddox, and you both graduated from high school. That's unusual. And here's the perfect graduation present. Fits right in. The lifetime gift. This is for you, Ann. The beautiful Boulevard American girl. Will you take that, Ann?
Beautiful.
And for Grandpa here, a lifetime gift, the new Boulevard 23, a perfect graduation present. What is this? That you just graduated from high school? How old are you, Major?
I'm 62, Sam.
62?
62.
You just got out of high school?
Right?
Gee, some teacher must have had a grudge against him, huh? Oh, my goodness. That happened sometimes. I had a teacher who said I would come to no good. Remember the teacher who turned to me, she said, you are going to end up penniless and friendless. And I did. I became a school teacher. Real prediction. But what's the real story behind your graduating?
Well, Sam, I started to school at the high school and went 1 year in 1910. And then in 1945, 1955, 45 years later, I completed my high school work.
Oh, brother, 45 years. I heard of kids playing hooky, but this is ridiculous, isn't it? If you hadn't gone back to the scene of the crime, they never would have caught you, probably. You must have seen a lot of changes in the school scene in your time, didn't you?
You bet I have, Sam. And one of the things, the kids nowadays ride to school in automobiles.
They do.
But we didn't in those days. We walked.
Yeah, that's true. And how far did you have to walk to school?
About a block.
Real pioneer stock, and you made it every time.
That's right.
Yeah, let's be honest about this. I had to walk to school about 4 blocks, and I'll tell you something else. I was very often late. I'm ashamed to say it. It wasn't my fault. It was my mother's fault. You see, in our house, there were 8 kids, and Mama set the alarm for 7. I want to talk to Ann for a second. You're the granddaughter, Ann, and you graduated with Grandpa. I don't want you to tell any tales out of school, but how did Grandpa do in school?
Very well. He was a top student, and he was on the honor roll every semester, too.
Very bright for his age.
Tried.
Huh? Did any of the kids try to copy from him?
Well, that's telling tales out of school, but I think we would have done better if we had him.
You think you would have done better if they
Right.
had it? No, I can't subscribe to that. You know, a school teacher can't say that you should copy because sooner or later a kid gets caught. You know, it's like the perfect crime. Sooner or later he's going to make that slip. I've seen it. We had a kid who complained that the kid next to him got 90 on the exam, and he happened to have the same answers. He didn't copy. He just happens to know that he had this. Why is it the other kid got 90 and he got a 0? The teacher told him the other kid answered 9 questions. When it came to the 10th, he put down, I don't know the answer. And this kid put down, me neither. Grandpa, now that you're out of high school, what's going to happen? You're going to get drafted into the Army, you think?
Well, hardly, Sam. Fact of the matter is, my grandson and I will enter college together next month at Pittsburgh State Teachers College at Pittsburgh, Kansas.
And you're going to be a teacher?
That's right. I hope to complete the course in 3 years, and then, well, perhaps I'll have about 5 years left to teach.
That's a noble ambition. Isn't that sweet? Huh? The only question I'm going to ask you is if you're going to be a teacher, what are you going to do for a living? Well, let's not go. Let's not go into that some other time. I have another present for you. The best taste yet in a filter cigarette, the carton of Old Gold Filter Kings. And Ann, do you smoke?
Yes, I.
Well, if you smoke, then I know that you two will enjoy these Old Gold filters. Have you met Dr. Gross yet? I don't think you had a chance. Doctor's from Rutgers University. He is our wise man on the show, knows all the questions and all the answers, and a fellow teacher.
Thank you.
Doctor, I think we ought to get going on the game. Are you ready?
I'm all set, Sam. Here's the first question. It's worth $5 for every correct answer.
Good. It's $5 for every correct answer. Which one of you is going to lead off?
I will.
You will, Ann? Relax, dear.
I'm trying.
When the bell sounds, the one who starts, that's you, Ann, gives the first name of a current federal office holder, like Richard. The other must then give his last name, Nixon. Ready? Go.
Richard.
Nixon.
Dwight.
Eisenhower.
Stewart.
Symington.
Ezra.
Benson.
Charles.
Wilson.
Well, that's very good. Ken, what did it add up to?
You had 10 correct answers at $5 each. So in the next round, every correct answer will be worth $50.
You studied in school, I can tell you that. It's $50 for every correct answer. When the bell sounds, start naming nationally celebrated holidays. Just make sure that each one you name comes later in the year than the one named before. So it might be a good idea to start with New Year's. Ready?
New Year's.
Washington's birthday.
4th of July.
Labor Day.
Thanksgiving.
Christmas.
We can't go much farther than that, can we? We're back to New Year's again. Ken, how did we do?
We had 6 correct answers at $50 each. So in the final round, every correct answer will be worth $300.
Well, they're proud of you at home, I'm sure. $300 for every correct answer. When the bell sounds, name as many as you can of the 20 capital cities of the Latin American nations, like Lima, Peru.
These cities only.
20 capital cities of the Latin American nations. Ready? Go.
Lima.
Peru.
No, you name another one, not the country, but...
Buenos Aires.
That's right. We'll go on from there.
Ready? Proceed.
Lima.
No. All right, we'll start over again.
All right, we'll start
We'll
all
get this
over.
clock going right. All right.
Ready? Lima.
Lima.
Buenos Aires.
Mexico City.
Good, you sneak that one in. Ken, what's the addition on that one?
We had 3 correct answers at $300, giving you a grand total on the bull of a scoreboard of $900.
Ken, who's next to play 2 for the money?
Sam, 2 charming gentlemen. Next. First of all, Mr. Niccolo Moscona, who is a star basso of the Metropolitan Opera Company, and Mr. Gilbert Merrill, who gives unusual demonstrations in science at the Museum of Science in Boston.
Welcome, gentlemen. Two very interesting records. For Senor Nicola or Nicola? Nicola Moscona, the handsome Boulevard 23, waterproof and self-winding.
Well, that's
for you.
beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
What a voice. And Gilbert Merrill, for you, a handsome Boulevard 23, shock-resistant and self-winding. It just winds as you wiggle your wrist. It's wonderful. Signor Moscona, I guess they call you. You are with the Metropolitan Opera Company. And how long have you been with them?
20 years.
20 years. Isn't that wonderful? What a prestige position that is.
What it is?
I'm an opera lover. I think somebody may have snitched on me. I'm a long hair, basically. In fact, I went to the opera when I was about 6 years of age on passes that a rich uncle gave us, you know. And Mama sent Papa and me so I'd get culture, you know. We were sitting, how many balconies did I have at the Met?
4.
4. I think I was in the 5th. Every laugh is an aria here. And there was I can imagine the eyes popping out of my head, a poor kid looking down. I said to Papa, you see the rich people sitting there in the box? You know what they're doing? They're sleeping. And Papa said, for this you had to wake me. Where did you get your training, Senor Moscona?
In Athens, Greece, I'm a Greek.
You are...
Then I went to Milano, Italy, and then I came to America 20 years ago with the Metropolitan Opera.
Ma, you've been around a lot. How many languages do you speak?
I speak 4 and a half.
4 and a half. What's the half?
English.
There's a sweet sense of humor. You have a deep voice. Isn't that a beautiful voice? I'm not going to ask you to do an aria for us, but I want to question one question I'd like to ask you. In all your travel, did you ever sing with a lyric tenor by the name of Elvis Presley?
Elvis Presley. Is he a Greek?
Well, to me, he's a Greek, yeah. He's Greek to me, any way you want to say. Gilbert Merrill, your partner, you do unusual demonstrations in science. Now, I'd like to get to you quickly. What's your most popular demonstration?
Well, I think probably one of the most interesting is one that I brought along with me tonight. It's has to do with helium, a balloon full of helium.
Helium?
And when one inhales helium, it has an unusual effect on one's voice.
Let me get that. If you inhale the helium, it has an unusual effect on anybody's voice?
Anybody's voice.
You think we could try it here?
I'm sure we could. If someone could get the balloons.
Well, Ken is our balloon carrier. Here comes Ken. Yeah, that's Ken.
What's that?
Isn't that cute? Things are getting tough all over, I can see. Those are the balloons, and they're filled with helium.
That's right. And helium, of course, is ever so much lighter than ordinary
All right,
air.
Gilbert, suppose you do the demonstration. I'm afraid to start up with helium. I may just disappear, and who's going to do the show?
Ken, I'll take one of those.
Let's see what happens.
Well, all that one has to do to create an entirely different voice is just get rid of the air that you have in your lungs and take a good deep breath of helium.
And then you find that it really does amazing things to your voice. It just changes your voice completely around, and you have no control until...
You get rid of the helium and replace it with air like this, and finally your voice back to something reasonable.
I'm afraid to ask this, but could this be done with anybody with Moscona, with his voice, too?
I'm sure it'll have a good effect on him.
Nicola, you want to try it?
Effect, anyway.
This I like to hear. Ooh.
Okay, you open it.
He's going to end up as a boy soprano. Something has got to happen.
Oh, you opened it.
Just pull it. Good. All right. Now, how do you do it? Let the air out.
My baby, you got much far, I can wait you got to be better for it and up better. I'm going to sing now. I'm going to... Hey, what's happened to me?
Isn't that wonderful? All right. The guy is scared. I got to do one, too, now. How do you untangle it?
Just pull the...
All right. What do you do? Let out all the air, and then you take a deep breath?
Oh, yes, Anna. Make sure that it's open balloon.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Twinkle, twinkle.
This is ridiculous. Let me do one more.
I'd like to give you a garden.
let's get the doc in on this quickly.
Yes.
Doc, suppose you try Mary Had a Little Lamb, huh? Better drink it all up.
All right.
Mary had a little lamb and took the light out. And everybody
Before I forget a carton of old gold filtered King's Feet, I said that in the wrong voice before. We better get on with the game. Can you talk, Doctor?
I don't know.
Oh, that was a delightful thing. Thank
Yes,
you very
the
much,
first person.
Mr. Merrill. Who's going to lead off in the game?
You want to lead?
All right. Very good. I'll opera man. When the bell sounds, the one who starts names any month of the year. The other must then spell that month backwards. Ready? Go.
March,
H-C-R-A-M.
April,
L-I-R-P-A.
May,
Y-A-M.
June,
E-N-U-J.
July,
Y-L-U-J.
August.
S.
All right. Ken, how did we do?
You had 11 correct answers at $5 each. So in the next round, every correct answer will be worth $55.
When the bell sounds, name as many works of fiction as you can which have been written about the sea, like Moby Dick. Ready? Go.
Captain Hornblower,
Moby Dick.
Kodziki,
Lieutenant Hornblower.
James,
Oh, that's too bad.
Ken, what's the score on that one?
You had 5 correct answers at $55. So in the final round, every correct answer will be worth $275.
This is your third question, and it's $275 for every correct answer. There are 48 state governors. When the bell sounds, the one who starts names a Democratic governor. The other must then name a Republican governor. Ready? Go.
Harriman,
Herta.
Chandler,
Knight.
Mosky,
Lauschi.
Who is this?
Mosky,
Oh, Muskie. Democratic governor, you're quite right, absolutely right. Say yes, we'll go on.
Proceed.
Republican.
Lauschi.
No, Lausch's a Democrat. That's too bad.
That's too bad. Ken, what's
Very
the
good.
score on that?
We had 5 correct answers at $275, giving you a grand total on the Bulova scoreboard of $1,375.
So incredibly.
And now, Sam, a very attractive young couple, married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Yop Kilderman.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Yop Kelderman. For each of you, a present. For you, Mrs. Kelderman, the bull of American girl, 2 pieces of jewelry in one, a watch and a bracelet. Wear it in good health and enjoy it. And for Mr. Yop Kelderman, a lifetime gift, the Bulova 23, shock resistant.
Thank you very much.
Now, I've already said Yop Kelderman. People are probably wondering, as I am, that's an unusual name. Where are you from?
I'm from Holland, Sam.
Holland?
Yes, sir.
Ah, that's unusual. You here on a pleasure trip?
No, I came here to be with my wife.
I think we ought to make a fresh start. You're in Dutch now, if you know what. What did you mean when you say you came to be here, with your wife? Explain it.
Well, my wife is American. I met her 2 summers ago in Holland, and we are living here permanently now.
That's good. And how did you meet?
Why, that was rather funny.
How?
Well, one day she was driving alongside a canal in Holland,
Canal.
and I was driving right behind her,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden she drove her car into the canal without signaling.
She drove the car to the... You mean in Holland they have a signal for driving cars into canal? Mrs. Kelderman, you really drove the car into the canal?
I'm afraid that's so. I was admiring the scenery, and the first thing I knew, I was in the canal.
Oh, brother. There's a temptation here, of course, to make jokes about women drivers, but that really isn't fair, because the statistics show that only 20% of automobile accidents are caused by women. Of course, that 20% kills off about 80% of the men. What finally happened? Let's complete the romance. Then we'll give you a chance at the game. What finally happened to this strange Dutch ditch that you were talking about?
Well, he pulled me out, and 2 weeks later we got married.
Oh, brother, he didn't even have time to dry off. It's a real Flying Dutchman we've got here. Huh? You're a charming couple. I wish I had all night to talk to you. I want to give you your second gift, the carton of old gold filters, the perfect combination of filter and blend for Mrs. Kelderman and for Senor Yup Kelderman. Are you ready to play the game? I think we ought to get going on it, right? Senor Doctor?
All set, Sam, for $5 for every correct answer.
I see you recovered from the balloons all
More or less, I think.
Who's going to lead off, Yup or Mrs. Kelderman?
Guess I'd better.
You bet. All right, relax. You'll do very well on this. When the bell sounds, the one who starts names any famous man-made structure, like the Taj Mahal. The other must then name the country where it is located. India. Don't repeat any country. Ready? Go.
India.
No, the other way around. You name the building. And then
You name the building.
You name the building and he'll name the country. Ready? Let's go.
Taj Mahal.
India.
Frank Lloyd Wright?
No, name a building, not a
Oh,
building.
building.
You name the building.
Oh, I see.
Go on.
The UN.
United States.
Empire State Building.
No, you can't repeat.
Can't repeat a country.
I'll give you one more chance now. Come on, I'll give you name another building.
Try another bit.
I can't think of any.
Yeah, you couldn't. Ken, how did we do on that?
You had 4 correct answers at $5 each. So in the next round, every correct answer will be worth $20.
This is your second question. Relax, it'll mount. When the bell sounds, the one who starts names any 4-legged animal which begins with the letter A, like an antelope. The other must then name an animal which begins with the letter B, then C, then D, and so on as far as you can go. Ready? Go.
Antelope.
Bear.
Cat.
Dog.
Elephant.
Flamingo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Flamingo's only got 2 legs, I'm afraid, like most birds.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe in Holland they have a different type flamingo. Huh? Ken, how did we do?
We had 5 correct answers at $20 each. So in the final round, every correct answer will be worth $100.
Your third question, and it's $100 for every correct answer. When the bell sounds, the one who starts names any country in the world, like Norway. The other must then name a famous author from that country. For example, Ibsen. Ready?
Ibsen.
Now, you name the country.
You name the country,
Oh.
he'll name the author. Try again. Ready?
England.
England.
Shakespeare.
France.
Anatole France.
Norway.
Ibsen.
Holland.
Pasen.
Spain.
Cervantes.
Argentina.
That was wonderful. Ken, what did that add up to?
We had 11 correct answers at $100 each, giving you a grand total on the Bulova scoreboard of $1,100. Here once again is Sam Levenson.
I hope you enjoyed the show. I think we had some of the sweetest contestants we've had in a long time. They're all very charming people, and it certainly comes through when they are. I'd like to recommend to you the September issue of TV Radio Mirror, which has a very nice story about the show and myself. If it's on your stands, grab it. Thank you all for looking in. Those of who are here tonight, thank you for coming in. See you all next week. Night.